Hey, what's going on YouTube? Down coming to you for Pinku Style in Masala, Japan. Today I got my buddy here, Ben, and what we're going to be doing is going over some of the mods I did to his car a little while ago, and he's going to talk about it. Before we get into it, we all love cars and everything, but one thing, to enjoy your car, you got to be healthy to enjoy that car. A lot of you guys know I play football, lacrosse, wrestled, do jiu-jitsu. One of my buddies who is also a veteran name is Brandon Colby of Illuminati Nutrition. He contains the BCAAs, glutamine, creatine, the nitrous oxide boosters. And here it is right here. It's called N Muscle. And as you can see right here on the thing, it says all that stuff I just said right there. And he has N cuts as well. And also he has these cool shirts that are organic, you know, hemp material. You can go to his website on Facebook. It's called Illuminati Nutrition. Look it up and try this out. In about maybe 2-3 weeks after I start using it, I'll have I'll tell you how it works and everything. But again, this is all in one. It kind of combines all your pre-workouts and it combines everything all into one scoop. So you ain't got to buy all these different things and stack and stuff that you guys work out. You know what stack means. So there it is right here. It's called, again, In Muscle by Illuminati Nutrition. And look up Brandon Colby on Facebook and he can get you going with that. So getting into it, again, this is my buddy Ben here. He'll introduce himself a little bit further, where he's from, age, and all that stuff. You guys might have seen him a while ago. We interviewed him back at ESP, maybe like a year or two ago, and he was actually talking about what he was going to do. Now it's all done. Shit gets done. So go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
I'm Ben. Come from Huntsville, Alabama. Been in the military for about 17 years now. 37 years old. When I first got the car, it was stock. There wasn't a lot of really big issues, typical issues, 25-year-old car issues like oil leaks, coming from the half moons, and just some stuff that needed to be identified and fixed. Well, throughout the years, throughout improvements, and obviously throwing money at the car because you're restoring it, there are things that came up where I had to take the engine out to do what I needed to do with it. So we got the engine out and we disassembled it, and we found out that there were a lot of issues with the engine. And I was TDY at the time, and then I enlisted Donnie's help, who actually, and he'd come down the list and was like, hey bro, there's some issues here that you need to identify with the engine. I was like, hey man, just shoot me the price, I'll wire you the money, and let's go ahead and get this fixed. So now, before when you saw it at ASP, it was gray and it had the blue rims. Now it's got a whole different color scheme. It's actually got a kit on it, and the engine work that was done to it was from Donnie.
What were some of the, I guess, the more major enhancements you did to it?
The major, in my eyes, so Donnie, he did some custom work to the block, the aluminum head for the exhaust ports that you really don't really get, and it changed the sound of the car. It makes it sound a little bit deeper, it makes it sound a little bit more aggressive, more an actual track sound. Then I guess I would go into other performance parts such as the titanium exhaust, the Midori 90mm tailpipe, the Midori elbows, the biggest you could get without getting them custom made, all the way back. And then the Tomei manifolds, you have the Nismo turbos, you have the Tomei gasket kit, the Tomei oil baffle. Everything done with this engine was put together by pretty much this man right here. I mean, this guy, he fucking did everything, and it's running sound, as you can see right here.
So you had you did upgraded injectors?
Yes, 600cc injectors, Nismo injectors, because I'm only going for 450 horsepower. The most I'll ever get is 450 at the wheel. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not trying to get some extravagant number because I do enjoy driving my car on a day-to-day basis. So that's my goal. 450 at the wheel. If it's at the crank or if it's even short, I don't care. It's still a 400 horsepower car, and by today's standard, that's a considerable amount of horsepower, especially when you're dealing with a four-wheel drive car. The Power FC was tuned by Donnie again, road tuned. A lot of the things that people don't see behind the scenes, I got to actually see with Donnie when I come in and just bullshit with them. And there's a lot of extensive work just to get, like we were talking about today when he was just rewiring some things. Like, I really wish I knew how to do that because you make it look so simple, but there's a lot of things that go along with it, and it's time consuming, and you have to know what the hell you're doing, otherwise it's not going to come out properly, such as making sure that the engine works, the wiring harness, everything that ties in together with it.
So as you guys hear, like, that's the way I work, and you want stuff done properly. I have nothing to do with nobody else, but I do things a certain way here, so it'll get done properly. I don't need people standing on my shoulder doing things, so it's like I'm going to do as if I'm working on my own car, because honestly, I want to get the job done. I want to collect cash, and I want to move on to the next job. And if you're constantly going backwards, you know, I mean, number one, it's not good for reputation, and it doesn't give the next customer the warm fuzzy. Things happen here and there, little things come unloose and stuff like that, and I honor all that stuff and take care of it. But major things, like, I mean, you know, you can't overlook things. You can't look cleanliness. You gotta make sure things are sterile. So that's what I provide here in my shop. And Ben was one of the. He was the first major job I had in my shop. So it was good to see it get it going. Also, kind of to segue, because it's kind of like, you know, I had the intro was about my buddy's veteran. I'm a military vet, and he's active duty right now currently. We were talking off the camera a little bit about it, and I was kind of also rushing to get the car back to him because he was having some things going on, like personal life. Everybody got shit going on. Everybody got, you know, life, and things happen. So you just touch a little bit on that, man. How you know how things is going on. And this is more at this point. If you're not into PTSD, I'm a combat vet. He's a combat vet. If you're not into PTSD, go ahead and click off. You know, I know some people don't like it. You know, bleeding hearts or whatever. But you know, it's serious. A lot of military vets, a lot of my buddies have taken their lives over the last 6 years. And it's a serious thing, and Ben, you know, we talked about it. He's not ashamed of it. I have some cases of it, and he just want to talk a little bit about, you know, how the car helped him to, you know, get over it a little bit, and how it helped him cope and things like that, man.
So with me, you know, there's so much that you can deal involved in what you've experienced in the past, whether it be combat, whether it be abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, developing as a kid. So everybody handles things very differently. Me, I have seen a lot of things that I probably wish that I've never seen in my life, but that's part of the job. That's part of the job of what you do when you're part of the military. And so me doing what my career was in the military and it still is to an extent, I got to witness a lot of things that I'm not exactly don't like to remember, don't like to see. A lot of good times, but again, a lot of bad times, a lot of ugliness. Being hit by IEDs is one of them. Seeing somebody that you went to training with and bullshitting with them, you've drank, you smoked and joked with them, you were doing everything, you were building that bond, that camaraderie. And then you go downrange, and then all of a sudden, not 2 or 3 weeks later, you figure out, well, shit, he's missing a leg now, or he's missing arms, he's dead. It's happened to more than a couple of my buddies, and you know that's for another time. But so what happens is when you take all these things, you tend to build up a lot of pressure, just like a tire. When you're filling up a tire and you put too much air in it, it expands. Well, it gets to the point where it can't hold that air anymore. And then it starts to go under pressure and it breaks, it explodes. So that was kind of like one of the things that happened to me. I'm able to do a lot of things to help cope with some of these things. Cope with death, cope with the sights that I'm seeing, cope with a lot of these issues that Donnie has experienced in the same shape or form. I've done it through jiu-jitsu, I've done it through CrossFit, I've done it through just regular lifting weights. I do it through listening to music. But sometimes there's that burden and something affects you and it just tips the scales and it's too much. You try adjusting to it, you try using coping mechanisms and they don't work. In the past, the mechanisms that you used or the things that you did, the routines that you did in the past do not work and do not affect you with what is going on now. Well, in this case, because I wasn't really dealing around it, Donnie and working on the car and us just being, we met through jiu-jitsu. So us bullshitting, me bullshitting with him in the shop while he's working on the car, and just talking about everything, anything and everything. Talking about what our past military experiences are, or talking about, yo, did you see old dude roll with the old dude, or just even one of those other things. Those things helped cope with me, and what bonded us together was this car. This car was something that I have taken my time and money to actively restore, to actually bring back to the States, because this is the gold mine. To me, this is the epitome of what a performance car is. This was its heyday and when it first came on the scene, and it still is today.
It's kind of watered down because everybody's getting them now, and I have this car is like, it was cool. It was the first one I did, and again, we talked a lot off camera, and getting it prepared for him and everything was just kind of help him, to get past some of the issues in life or whatever. But when other customers would come and see the car, they were like, hey man, how much this, how much is that? The price varies for everything depending on how deep you want to go into it. But pretty much he's done what every GTR owner needs to do or are going to have to do anyway. The car is 26, 27, 25 years old, and things are, the car, it wasn't built out the factory unless there was like one of the V-Spec models or one of the hot Z-Tune or something like that where it was ready. A lot of potential, but bushings and stuff like that breaks down, so you're going to have to fix that stuff. Yes, the car has a great history, but it's a material thing, and all things break down in the material, so you got to fix it. So I mean, it was cool to work with him because most of the time you're working on the cars and like you make an estimate for a price, and things go wrong, and then some people flip out. Like, oh man, you're trying to get more money out of me, but it wasn't that. It was like, hey man, I sent him the pictures, like, hey man, this and this. And every time I sent him a message, the times I did, he was like, hey, order it, get it done, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like, ah, man, take a shortcut or find like some Acme part or some bullshit, man. It was like, you got to fix it, you got to restore it, man. So not only the car thing and, like I say, the camaraderie and everything is just like, that's the big thing about, cars, everything. It brings everybody together. Race, religion, all that stuff kind of goes out the window. It's kind of all about cars, and that's like one common language that everybody speaks across the globe. If you're into cars, you're into cars. It's the same thing everywhere. So again, I was like really thankful for Ben to come through today. Did some little checks on the car, and he's about to actually send it out of Japan. So before it leaves out, I just want to check my work again, make sure everything's good. And there was a few things I found that I want to go ahead and adjust for because he's driven it around, put some heat on it, put some stress on it. So some things loosened up a little bit, so I'm going to tighten things back down and stuff like that. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm good at what I do, but hey, things happen. It's nothing catastrophic. It's little small stuff, and I'll go ahead and fix that, knock it off for him because I do honor my work, and it's no charge or anything like that. I did it, and I want to make sure everything's good to go. So again, guys out there, kind of to go back on everything we talked about, like you say from the start, make sure you're getting in shape. I mean, myself, I'm not in the shape I used to be in, and that personally irritates me because I know where I was at. So I'm going to get back in there. So definitely go ahead and check out Brandon Colby's Illuminati Nutrition, the in muscle and cuts, and get all that stuff going. If you think about getting in the military, definitely get in shape before you go to basic. Do not be the guy in basic trying to get in shape because your life's going to fucking suck, and everybody's not going to like you. And just make sure your shit's all good, man. And then for my combat vets out there, there's military, and then there's people who experience combat. Everybody hasn't been in combat before, so there's a kind of divide right there in all branches between those who've seen shit and those who've been directly in contact with the enemy versus those who've only seen them on slideshows and the quarterly training and shits like that. So don't shy away from PTSD, guys out there. If you need help, really talk to somebody, get some kind of help, man, because you've been through too much stuff. You've been to Afghanistan, Iraq, and then you take yourself out. You survived through all that stuff, man, and you take yourself out, or you get in a situation where you get taken out by somebody else. So definitely seek out and get help if you need help with PTSD. If you got to talk, just hit me up in my inbox, man. I'm busy, but I'll get back to you and we'll talk it up, man. So again, thanks to Ben for coming through for the video. Bringing the car, let me do the shots and everything today. And thank you guys again for tuning in and subscribing and liking and sharing all that stuff before. And like I say, always inbox me for any questions and things like that you guys have for parts. Hit me up at PinkuStyle.com. And for social media, Just put in Pinku Style, Pink Ranger Drift, and you'll get me on Twitter, Facebook, all those things are the same thing. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Donald Jackson signing out from Massage Japan, Pinku Style. See you guys later.